Hello, this is teacher Onomatopoeia back with one more tutorial, and this time the tutorial is based on how to make house music and how to make a house remix. So although I'm not much into house music, uh, I make only trance music, but many people mailed me and requested me to make a tutorial on how to make a house music or how to make a remix of a house track. So here's FLP I made. Like, this is just a raw version of the track. It is not yet complete. I have made this remix of the famous Dimitri Vegas Like Mike track, featuring Lil Jon and Koon, Madness. So I first made the melody because I didn't want to change the melody, and the main melody sounds like this. The good part about making the remix of a house track is that you don't have to search for the acapella, as most of the house tracks don't have vocals. So you just got to hear the music again and again and then make the melody accordingly. Okay, and like, it isn't necessary that if you make a remix you need to uh, make the same melody. You can change, you can have your own melody, but I didn't want to change the melody, so I kept it at the same. I changed the drop, and my drop sounds like this. For the drop I used one of the Vengeance synths, and then I mixed it with reverb too. I decreased the size, then limiter, multiband compressor, sound goodizer, gross beat, and maximus. Okay, and for the kick I used the kick that I made for the remake of Animals by Martin Garrix. I used the same kick, but then I used sausage fattener with 50% fatness and 25% color, and then sound goodizer and parametric EQ2, and sorry, like, I lowered this part so that the extra distortion thing doesn't it reduces the distortion stuff, but if you reduce it too low the kick would sound like a trance kick, so I didn't put it down completely. Then comes the pad, like, it is in the same chord the melody is, and it sounds like this. Well, for now the number of patterns is are less, just as it is raw. FLP. I have to complete. First I started with a wind effect, and it sounds like this. Well, this key melody is actually like piano used, and notes are the same, like uh, same as the main melody. Okay, then the song goes like this. Well, I wasn't able to find the perfect claps, so I just picked up one of the claps that sounds similar from Vengeance, and then added Sound Godizer, and then Fruity Filter, and I just like increase the cutoff frequency so that it sounds very clear. Okay, and this key is just a volume automation, and then it sounds like this. Well, if you are making a house track, keep in mind that the uplift part, in the uplift part, you necessarily put the channel pitch automation, because it actually helps a lot in giving the perfect effect, like the same effect that you listen to so tracks by YSP and Blaster Yaks and bass jackers and all. Like, I use it because I found it very useful. After all, it's your music, your wish. For here, I use the snare, and the placing has been quite odd, but like I placed it according with there's this gap, so I placed it. Then there's this gap, so I placed it. I placed in the gaps in a melody, so it goes with the rhythm. And here's something I recently edited, but I don't find it quite cool, so I'm going to edit it again later, but still you can hear it. Well, I tried to make the acapella of Madness, and then I inserted over here, but now I am not finding it quite cool, so I'll be replacing it later. Okay, so here's the drop, the kick, and then this is the famous upright a snare, which is actually used in most of the house tracks. And then there's this shaker for a change. There's this whip and a short part of the main melody, and these are the frequency these are the frequency automations, due to which there's this nice effect over here, like this. Like that sound. Yes, it sounds good. And then I added closed hats for a change in the drop, just a minor change. Then comes the second sweep up part. Automation of the key melody, and yes, it sounds quite cool. It took around 10 or 15 minutes to completely make this, but it sounds really nice. Okay, then again the wind effect, and there's this build up again for the drop, and it sounds like this. Well, if you had noticed properly, this cross beat and there's this synth, I'll just show you. Here it is, and it sounds like that. I have actually added 2 cross beats to it. Okay, so the first cross beat is the basic 11, due to which it sounds like this. And then there's this second cross beat. I'll just show you how it sounds like this. It sounds like this. I use the basic 8. Okay. So over here I have put this crossbeat mix, the second one. I've used the automation so that for 1, 2, 3 the effect is of crossbeat, the first crossbeat, and then in the fourth it's of the second crossbeat. Okay. It sounds quite cool, okay, and it sounds like this. that's something I have just made in like last week. Not a complete thing, I'll change it later. Now I'll tell you something that I use. For the hi-hats I use Soundgoodizer and then Maximus, and then for the Madness acapella of it, although it was a failure, yet I'll just tell that I use the reverb and then Soundgoodizer and Maximus and TLS Maximizer. And for the mastering, I've used Maximizer and the default limiter. TLS Maximizer is useful because it increases the output as well as compresses it at the same time. Like it gives kind of a nice effect and keeps your track under the control. Like no pattern will exceed the value. I've kept this as my value, like this line you can see. See, it won't ever exceed this value. Yeah, maybe that's it for now. Hope you liked it, and if you like it, you can subscribe me and then follow me on SoundCloud, like my page on Facebook. Thank you.